Either of those, I think they were under control, but
Treatment.
who
Treatment.
knows?
He's under treatment. I keep hearing that he's going through treatment, you
Does
know?
he, I mean, she filed for the divorce, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, does he, where do you feel for him? Like, does he want this as much as she does?
I feel like he is really kind of taking things on his own things right now. Like he's really putting himself forward with things. And I feel like in a marriage that you can allow that for a little bit to let someone heal. But I really do feel like he's kind of like taking a stance away. And he's also extraordinarily stubborn. So there's a lot of things that they haven't talked about. And this being so she did this and burned. Now we have the burn on him. The fact that she did this without warning, because I don't feel like he got warning about this. I feel like he kind of got punched in the throat, it feels like. And now that's like angry. You know what I mean? Even though I feel like the kiss was innocent, that picture was innocent, never meant to do that. But no, he's angry and I do feel like he's hurt. I don't feel like he wants to lose her. I feel like he really does love her. But subtly he's just kind of moved away from her over the last couple of years. So this has been kind of like a subtle separation. I don't feel like this was just like we decided to separate. I feel like he's pulled his energy back and it could be a lot about his healing journey, you know? So I feel like he's getting more into like internalizing things. So I feel like he's okay with the idea of the divorce, but he's not okay with the way things went down. You know what I mean? Business wise, he's like, maybe we can make money. So once again, then they go over to business. They're like, okay, let's market it. Let's like monetize this, you know. But personally, I feel like he's feeling there's a part of him who's like, I did excuse myself in the relationship. I'm trying to take responsibility for doing that, but he's also angry at her for making the move in the first place. So,
Interesting. Last question on this topic before we move
oh, yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like she is filed, for alimony, they've been over 10 years, which in California you can get
yeah.
alimony for life. And she's also filed for sole custody of the kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think this is gonna get ugly, right?
this is gonna get very, 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 very ugly. Because the one thing that he's not gonna have subtracted from his life are the kids. You know, he wants to have say, he wants to have doctor's appointments, he still wants to do those things, more so now than he probably has been doing. You know what I mean? Because he has been so like eye centric. Um, yeah, this is going to be a tooth and nail fight. So everything is gonna escalate. The alimony, I don't feel like he cares. You know what I mean? Like I'm not he's like it's whatever. I don't have a lot right now anyway. How much are they going to award? You know? And also business-wise, we're a team right now because we're making money off of Scandal, right? So cool, whatever. Money's fine. The kids, that's no bueno. Like he's not okay with that. I do feel like they'll come to an agreement though. Okay? I feel like she did that full custody thing as kind of like poke poke, but also this is kind of so he's angry about that, but I also feel like they're like, but we can work with this. The more scandalous of a divorce, the higher the ratings. I feel like the kids will be fine. I feel like they'll come to an amicable thing. There's going to be visitations. Visitations will be, of course, photographed and everything like that. Like, oh, like he was seen alone with the kids without a supervisor or whatever. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
do.
But that's what I feel like it is. I feel like he's more like angry at first, hot fire, and then like somebody's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let's manage this. Let's market this. Let's make this happen." So I feel like the kids are going to be just fine. You know, I feel like they're very aware of everything. They have been aware of everything. Nothing's going to change. I feel like he's still going to get visitations. So,
Well, that's good. Moving on, there's this
like,
woman who will stay. Her name is Katie Ginella,
okay,
Ginella. Katie Ginella. What do you got any feelings about her?
she is hyperly power driven. This woman is successful. She's beautiful. She wants to maintain power. She's very eager to get there. She can be very, I don't want to sound negative, but like she can be very egotistical. She can be very callous. She can be very, like, hate to use the word when it comes to a woman, but she can be very calculating. You know what I mean? She can be very strategic to get what she needs. So I don't know if that's who she is, but like that's what I'm picking up. I just feel a woman she's got a plan, you know, and you don't mess with her plan. You know, she is, I mean, She's like a thunderbolt. She is strong as all. Like everything up front is strong. If we look at the nitty-gritty with her inside, she has a lot of anxiety. Okay. She's kind of a pick your poison type of gal. Okay, you know what I mean? So she can go a little heavy on the alcohol or a little heavy on this, you know what I mean? To like cover up. She's got a very big roar, like I came out with. But I feel like there's a lot of things inside with her where she just wants to be loved. She just wants to be adored. She wants to be not the center of attention, but she wants to be appreciated. She wants to be nominated. She wants to be seen. You know, she doesn't have to be like, here I am, but she needs to be acknowledged, you know?
Yeah.
She's got a lot of I feel like she kind of came in a little too strong with something and almost like slammed into a wall. Now she has to kind of like backstep and be like, I kind of overdid things that I didn't do things right. And now she's trying to hypercorrect. You know,
Well,
it's a very thing, hypercorrect.
that resonates. So she's on the Real Housewives of Orange County. She just had, I
Oh,
mean, the show itself is in its 19th season. It's her second season.
hmm.
She might have come in. She came in strong last year. I had heard some rumors this season that she was coming in really strong from like a very reliable source, like that she came in with like an agenda to go after two certain people, this woman
Oh,
named Heather and this woman named Gina. Strangely, she's had the rumor is so they just had a cast trip. That's like how the season ends. They go on a cast trip. She was not on the cast trip. Now, normally, when you're not on the cast trip, there's like a pretty egregious reason why. Do you see anything around that? And then I could throw out this other woman's name, Emily Simpson. That's who she had the rumor is the most issues with, even though she came in gunning for this woman named Heather and Gina. It's Emily and her that have had a pretty rough season together.
I feel like her and Emily, I don't feel like she didn't go on this cast trip intentionally.
You
I feel
think
like that was her.
she wanted it?
I feel like she wanted to not go because
Oh,
like I honestly feel like she was like, no. You know what I mean? I feel like she had to like kind of take a step back from things intentionally because it was one of those things where she was prepared to go and then she was just like, screw this. Ugh. And I feel like that was kind of something that maybe like I told you, she had little regrets about doing. I think she should have gone, but I really tell you, I feel like her and Emily may have had it out because there's a lot of off-camera things with her and Emily, even though she came in gunning for the other two. Heather Gina, I feel like that's a very mild drama. Like I feel like that's her and Emily have like this very it's beyond contentious. I don't even know if there's like a word for it, but it's like imagine two emperors like wanting people to fight their battles, but they're doing it themselves. You know, like they're not getting support on it's just weird. But I feel like she's like, I'm not going. And she was very stubborn for the moment and then was like, ooh. I don't feel like she was asked to sit out. I feel like she didn't go because she was just, no, I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? Like, and then now she's like, shoot, I need to get back on the show. I want to be on the show, you know? Producers didn't mind so much because it does get a lot of circulated truths. But I also know that maybe she could be, um, like I said, excessive maybe alcoholism or drinking or something like that. She could be trying to take care of herself too as well, but I feel like she didn't go because of stubbornness and then regretted it,
like she
you know?
did nothing. Like they told her not to go. You did this, you did that. She just didn't want to go on her own.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like she like stood her ground. I feel like it was her way of just saying F this, like, you know what I mean? She's got a couple of cast members gunning for her. I feel like she's also got like a couple other things going on, like, because I keep hearing like peripheral like scandal things, and she's trying to clear her name.